Hello, boys and girls. Today we have something called a sword drill challenge. Now, before you start taking out your toy swords and swinging them around, it does not have to do with a sword like that. It has to do with the Bible. Now, in the Bible, it talks about the armor of God, right? There's the breastplate of righteousness, the helmet of salvation, all these different parts of the armor of God. And the Bible is called the sword of the Spirit. So when we say a sword drill, we're talking about a Bible. We're talking about the Bible. So, for the sword drill challenge, now some of you have probably done sword drills before, maybe at church or in Sunday school, but we haven't done them in class yet. So, I want us to practice them. Now, usually a sword drill is a race. So, usually you have the Bible, then someone says a memory verse reference, says a Bible verse reference. And then you have to try and find it as fast as you can, and whoever finds it first wins. Okay? But we haven't done these before, so I don't want them to be a race because we haven't really practiced much of finding verses in the Bible. We've done a little bit with talking about the table of contents and finding chapters and verses, but we haven't done it a whole lot, so I don't think we're quite ready for a race. But I want us to try and do a sword drill challenge where we just take our time in finding the different Bible verses. Okay? So let's get set up. First, you need a Bible. You need your sword of the Spirit. So make sure you have a Bible. The first thing you need to do is you need to take your Bible in your hand like this and then hold it up straight in the air. See, my elbow is not bent. Straight in the air. And then once we read the reference, you can bring your Bible down and open it and start looking in it. Okay? So let's start off with Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. Does that reference sound familiar? It should. So what we can do is we'll start off like this. Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. And usually people will say go or charge or something like that. And that's when you go and you go as fast as you can. But like I said, we're not doing a race. So we're just going to read it. Matthew chapter 5, verse 16, charge. So then we're going to take our Bible down. And you have to figure out where the book of Matthew is. How can we figure that out? Well, we can remember Matthew is in the New Testament. So it's not really at the front of the Bible. It's not in the middle either. It's closer to the end. Not the very end, but a little bit closer to the end. Or instead of just kind of opening it up and hoping you open up to the book of Matthew, you can look in the table of contents. So let me find my table of contents. Here it is. So right here, I have my table of contents. It tells me the book of the Bible and what page number it's on. So it says the Old Testament up here, but I know it's not in the Old Testament. Matthew's in the New Testament. So then I can look at the New Testament. Oh, there's Matthew. It says it's on page 733. Now, in your Bible, it might be on a different page because this is a small Bible with really small writing, so they were able to scrunch it up into something smaller. But some Bibles have bigger letters, some Bibles have notes in them, some Bibles have pictures, so the page number will probably be different. But 733. So I can look for page 733. All right, 733. Perfect. I found the book of Matthew. Now I need to look for chapter 5. So there are some big numbers, like right here, there's a big number 1. Big number 1. So I know that that's chapter 1. So now I got to find the big number 5. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Big number 5. Okay. And now I have to look for verse 16. So there are smaller numbers that tell me the verses. So let me find verse 16. Oh, here it is. You can see, hopefully it's pretty small, but you can see the number 16. Good. Okay, so that is the verse. It says, let your light shine before men so that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. That's our shine verse. Awesome. So you were able, see the steps I took to find it? I started with the table of contents. I found the book of Matthew. Then I found chapter 5 and then chapter 16. So you go in order like this. Okay, just like when we're reading it, saying Matthew chapter 5, verse 16, that's how you will find it as well. Okay, so take your time. Don't rush. This is like take your time kind of challenge. Some of you may also have the Bible books, the books of the Bible, memorized. You might have the order memorized. That is also very helpful in finding the books of the Bible. So if you have them memorized, you can even kind of go through them in your head and then find the book that you're looking for that way too. But we're going to practice with looking at the table of contents as well. Okay, the next reference is John 3:16. Some of you know that verse, I'm sure, by memory. Some of you, we did it in kindergarten together. And some of you probably know it from other places as well, but John 3:16. So you're going to do the same thing. You're going to look at the table of contents, go back to the front, the table of contents. Oh, well, wait, before that, we start off like this, right? So you're going to say, John 3:16, charge! And then you bring it down, look in the table of contents, find the book of John, turn to the book of John, and find chapter 3, verse 16. Okay? Now, I'm not going to read that one aloud because some of you probably know that one, and I want you to find it. Okay? Then, so these two are in the New Testament. We're going to do 2 Old Testament as well. All right, Genesis 1:1. Genesis 1:1. Okay, you'll have to think about that one. And then this is one of my favorite verses, Isaiah chapter 54, verse 10. This one will be tricky because Isaiah is a big book. But Isaiah 54, verse 10. Okay, so boys and girls, remember the instructions. Start off like this. Read the reference, say charge, and then use your table of contents and find the book of the Bible, then find the chapter, and then find the verse. Okay, so that is your sword drill challenge for today. As you keep practicing, as you keep learning the order of the books of the Bible, these will become easier for you, and then you can do them as a race. But right now, we'll just start off taking them slow. All right, great job, boys and girls.